Hello, my name is Eric Normand, and today I'm going to be doing the Gilded Rose code kata in Clojure. Gilded Rose is a famous code kata. It's a refactoring kata, so it helps you practice refactoring. And today I'm going to attempt it. There's a repo created by someone named Mike Jansen 12 years ago that contains the code and everything else needed in Clojure. And I've never done it before. I've never done the kata in any language, but I have seen people do it before. So I do have some knowledge of what it looks like and what the point is and some tricks that people have used, but I'm pretty sure that I've forgotten most of them. So I'm gonna be fresh. I have the repo here. I downloaded it and opened it in VS Code, and we're gonna play with it. All right, give me a second, and I'll pull it up. Here we go. Here we are. All right. So this is the README from the repo. I'll show you all the files. The repo has a README, a project CLJ. So that means it's lining in. And that makes sense because 12 years ago, Deps Eden did not exist. And look, we're even on Clojure 1.8. Right now we're on the main release is 1.11 and they're working on 1.12 right now. It's already out in alpha. So it's been a while. It's also using something called J, which is a testing library that I don't think anybody uses anymore. Let's see if we can see some information about it. No. Okay. This is some junk that things create. Calva, CLJ kind of. But there's the file. There's the big mess of code that we're going to have to refactor. And here is the test or the non-test. It doesn't have any test. It just says write test later, which we will have to do. So let's read the README and discuss. It's always important to read. I know it's boring. I'm going to read it out loud, and that'll be even more boring to just listen to. But it's important because it'll contain information and it'll tell us what we actually need to do with this. Okay, so, I've also put this link to the repo in the description of the YouTube video. Okay. Hi, and welcome to Team Gilded Rose. As you know, we are a small inn with a prime location in a prominent city run by a friendly innkeeper named Allison. I wonder if Allison's name is important, but that's fine. That's fine. Some like red herrings in here. We also buy and sell only the finest goods. Unfortunately, our goods are constantly degrading in quality as they approach their sell-by date. All right, that makes sense. They're perishable goods. We have a system in place that updates our inventory for us. It was developed by a no-nonsense type named Leroy, who has moved on to new adventures. Okay, so this is a dig at the kind of programmer who's like no nonsense, but that is code for I don't care about design. I'm just going to get it done and then leave. I don't care how good the code quality is or if anybody else can read it. That's what the no nonsense is supposed to be code for. Your task is to add the new feature to our system so that we can begin selling a new category of items. Okay, so we do have to add a new thing. That's our task. A new feature to our system. Okay, so, but we're not there yet. First, an introduction to our system. All items have a sell-in value which denotes the number of days we have to sell the item. I guess that's before the sell-by date. The number of days before the sell-by date. All items have a quality value which denotes how valuable the item is. Okay. quality value denotes the value. So we're going to say the quality denotes the value. All right. At the end of each day, our system lowers both values for every item. So one day passes, so our sell-in value goes down, and then somehow the quality goes down because another day has passed. Pretty simple, right? Where this is where it gets more interesting. Once the sell-by date has passed, quality degrades twice as fast. The quality of an item is never negative. Aged brie actually increases in quality the older it gets. The quality of an item is never more than 50. Sulfurous, being a legendary item, never has to be sold or decreases in quality. Okay. Backstage passes, like aged brie, increases in quality as its sell-in value approaches. I guess that means as it approaches 0. Quality increases by 2 when there are 10 days or less, and by 3 when there are 5 days or less, but quality drops to 0 after the concert. All right, that makes sense. If you're going to a concert, you want to go before the concert happens, not after. We have recently signed a supplier of conjured items. This requires an update to our system. Conjured items degrade in quality twice as fast as normal items. Feel free to, okay, that's what we have to add to our system. Feel free to make any changes to the update quality method and add any new code, as long as everything still works correctly. However, do not alter the item function, as that belongs to the goblin in the corner, who will insta-rage and one-shot you as he doesn't believe in shared code ownership. Okay, the item function. I have to remember not to change that. Just for clarification, an item can never have its quality increase above 50. However, sulfurous is a legendary item, and as such, its quality is 80, and it never alters. All right, so now we can see different links. Okay, so it's pretty complicated the way they've described it. You know, they make generalizations like everything decreases in quality, and then they give us an exception. Nothing can be over 50 except for this one. Those are just ways of making the problem a little bit more realistic. That's the way people often talk. A user always has an ID except before they've stored it in the database, because the ID is generated by the database. You know, there's all sorts of stuff like that where we speak in like categorical terms, but it's not really. Okay, we might refer to this later, but I think we have the gist. I think the other thing that this thing hints at is that it works. So this code, regardless of how messy it is working. Like it's not broken and there's a bug and we have to figure out where the bug is. It's working. If we could keep it working exactly the same way but clean it up, then we will be good. And we need to clean it up in such a way that we can add that new feature. So just a second, I just want to check on my feed to make sure everything's looking good. Stream health is healthy. All right. Sorry for anybody who... Yeah, okay, I have 3 people watching. Hello. Hello. I am streaming this live if you don't know. Sorry, I did stream it before and you couldn't hear me, so I had to start it over. All right, so we're in there now. So the first thing I want to do before I start anything is I want to run the code. I'm already in the REPL. I've already started it. This is in VS Code. It's really easy to start a REPL. You just do start a project REPL, click on that one, and it'll ask me for some options, and I set them. And one thing I did is in my previous attempt at streaming, I added this so I can run it. This is the function that needs to be run, and let's try it. Okay, so it's going to show the result here and also here in the REPL. And I just want to make sure it runs before I start messing with it and learn that, wow, it doesn't even run. Okay, that's good enough for me for now. I don't, and this, oh, this is the item function. That's the one we cannot touch because we will be one-shotted, whatever that means. Probably a gaming term. Actually, I heard that this came from a game, this whole Gilded Rose shop. All right. The other thing is this speckled J that we have here. I don't want to use that. Speckled J just seems really, really old, and I don't know it. It's probably something that someone tried 12 years ago and didn't go anywhere. What I want to do though is put in test check. Here, I'm going to open a tab here. Here we go. I know that's like not beautiful. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Clojure test check. And let's see what comes up. Test.check. Right. This isn't what I wanted. I don't want a tutorial. I want the, okay. Yeah. Ah, this one. Because this is going to tell me the current version number. Right. So I need the Leiningen version. This is something that I do so automatically now. I guess this will be a dev dependency. Why not? Why not put it in dev? We won't need it in the real thing. Okay, here we go. I haven't used Leiningen in a while, so I have to remember all this. Okay, we don't need the speckle plugin anymore. Just gonna delete all that. Don't, oh wait, this test paths, yeah, we do need that, except it should be, nah, that's fine. I'll just leave it as spec, I don't mind. And then the other thing is like, oh, come on, let's use Clojure 1.11. I think 1.11.1 here. We'll go and do that here. Clojure releases. And I just want you to see how it's really done. Okay, 1.3. 1.3 is what we want. Just want you to see all the details of that. All right, now I need to close my REPL. Disconnect REPL server. Is that what I should do? Start a project REPL. Leiningen. I've got new dependencies. Yeah, and REPL connection was closed. Jacking in. Hope this works. Hey, I said connect. Ah, starting jack in terminal. There we go. Yeah, Leiningen just takes a lot longer than I'm used to because I don't use Leiningen anymore. But let's stick with it. Let's keep going. We can change that later. All right, and then also this other thing has to change. This one should be core test. And we don't want speckle CLJ. It should have told us that it can't do it. We want forgot how to write it. I forgot the namespaces. It's fine. I forget stuff all the time. It's clojure.test.check. Yeah, we need 3 different things. So I'm just going to pull these in myself. Yeah, I know this isn't interesting, but this is like, this is the life. This is the life of programming. This is straight out of the docs. I trust it. I've done this before. So that's okay. All right, so now this should, right, it doesn't match the name. We got to change the name over here. Test. So all these squiggly lines are our LSP. And then we need, wait, one more thing. What's it called? Def prop or something. There, this one. Def spec is what it's called. Oh, look, we got the spec back. We got the name spec back. That's, there we go. So now what we have is, oh, I'm not going to refer to this. I'm going to call it as TOC. No, SOT. SOT. S-U-T, system under test. Now we're going to have a def spec, and it's going to be always true. I just want to have something to run. Prop hash for all x gen integer. Hey now. Oh, we need 100. Yeah, well, we don't need that, but we can put it. For all integer. I know why I haven't loaded this namespace. I'm just going to do something dumb. X is always equal to X. So let's load this namespace. There we go. And then I think it doesn't, LSP doesn't get it. But we've got it running, and I think we can run our tests, which is Control Alt C T. One test, one pass. Yes. Okay. So we have tests running, and they should pass. And just to make sure that they will fail if we need to have them fail. Yes, they will fail. We get a nice emoji about it. All right, so if you're not familiar with test check, I hope this gets you a little bit familiar with it. It's property-based testing, which means it will generate random, in this case, generate random integers, and then you can assert that something is always true about it. The indentation isn't working right because it doesn't know that prop/for_all should be more like a let binding. We push this over to the left. But you know what? That doesn't matter so much. That's just indentation. We're just going to continue on. So this is, I don't want this to fail anymore, and I'll delete it later. Oh, okay. So we've got this big function, which is the big one that looks terrible, and we have to, the rest looks fine. I mean, like this, I don't like having stuff on new lines, but you know what? That's not a big deal. What we have is this problem of this being a total mess. It's a mess in a number of ways, like just off the top of my, first glance. Oh, I hate how I can't mouse over stuff without it blocking the rest of the code. Hello. If someone knows the VS Code like magic for making that go away, I'd love to know. Right, so there's just like spacing, like con should be on its own line. This map, you see I've got rainbow parens on, and the map is at the same indentation as this map, but it's the same color as this red one, so it should actually be indented. Things just are messy. But before I do any of that, I'm going to copy the function. I'll show you why. I'm going to take this whole function, and yes, I use the mouse. I don't know all the things. And I'm going to call this, I'm just going to call it model. This is our model. We know that this works. We have been told that this works. And so we are just going to keep it the way it is. And use it to compare this one to, which we are going to modify. This update quality, we are going to modify it and clean it up, but we don't want it to change how it behaves, not yet. So we're going to use this model to test against it. So we're going to make a single test that's going to generate random items, pass them to both, and look for differences. So let's go back here and we'll generate that. So we actually have to make a generator. Def, I like to start my generators with gen hyphen, and we're going to generate items. We'll just generate a single item, and it will be a hash map, and we have a key gen and a val gen. No, that's not what we want. We want hash map. Hash map. Now I'm thankful I have this. Right, it's going to take the key and then a generator for the value. Right now I want to split this so I can see both at the same time. Is there a way to split down? Split editor down. There, that's what I want to do. Okay, how do I close this now? No, I want to unsplit. I think do that. Ah, there we go. Split it down. There we go. Now this one, I want to do the core. Oh, well. I'm not like I don't VS Code that much to learn all this stuff. I wish I had the patience for it, but I don't. All right. So what we have though is 5 different types of things we can make. I just want to make sure that's true. We have backstage pass, aged brie. Come on, man. This same kind of backstage elixir of the mongoose, dexterity vest. Looks like sulphurous hand of Ragnaros. All right. So look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this into here, and those are the different kinds of items. It looks like you can just make any numbers there, although sulphurous hand of Ragnaros is always 80 and 0, right? Well, we'll see about that. It should always be 80. I remember it said that. Okay, so it's just complicating the generator. It's still possible. Just thinking about how to do it. All right. So let's see. We're just going to do each one. There's only 5. So there's the vest. And this is a hash map of item name. And then gen bind is what it's called. +5 dexterity vest. I'm really not looking for abstraction right now. I just want to get this done. This is just a test. The sell in is, I don't know, it's just a number. Gen nat, but non-zero. We can generate 0. Why not? And then nothing's negative, right? Then the next one is quality, and then this is going to be a gen nat. And actually, these are not. Why am I not able to do this? Do I have parrot it off? There we go. What keystroke was that? Shift, control, okay. I don't know when that happened, but there. Okay. And make sure that works. No. Wrong number args passed to test check. Gen hash map. No. Oh, bind. Oh, that's right. It's not bind. What is it called? Return? Because it's a monad. Sorry to use the M word. Yeah, gen return 42 always returns 42. All right, there we go. Now, one thing I want to do before we move on is set up a little comment block in here so I don't have to type stuff into the REPL. And I'm just going to sample gen Beth just to take a look at it. All right, so it has generated a bunch of stuff. Okay, cool. And as you generate bigger stuff, these numbers will get bigger. So that's good. So we've generated the vest. Let's do a copy paste. And remember, this is all so that we can like just be sure that we've got tests. This guy, I might actually end it after that because it's getting kind of long. But this guy, whatever his name was, the no nonsense guy, did not do tests. So we're going to do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's copy this to Gen 3. Oops, I didn't compile it. Gen Brie. There we go. Looks fine. Elixir of the Mongoose. Let's do that one. Sounds like a fun game, whatever this is. Let's call it Elixir Gen Elixir. And then I know it looks like there's a bunch of duplication. I do not care right now. I don't care. And I'm not going to test that thing. It's fine. Whatever sulfurous is. But then this one is always 080, right? So this is also going to be a gen return 0. Gen return 80. Oops, 80. Okay, and then this one. Gen pass. Oops. I could just copy this, right? Gotta copy this. How do I do that? I don't know without using the mouse. I'm sure there's a keystroke, but I'm not that good at it. Pass. And then this one should be the same. Oh, and it needs to be nats again. Gen int. And what's that? Gen int. Oh, no, not int, nat. It's deprecated. And that means it can be 0. All right. So we've got those. And now the gen item is going to be gen 1 of. And we just list them. So we've got the gen vest, gen brie, gen vest, gen brie, gen elixir, gen sulfurous. See, I hate that. I'm sorry. I'm going to complain. Like if I hit enter here, you see it doesn't go to the next line because there's a little window open. Why does it do that to me? Already typed it. All right, so now I should be able to sample gen item. Did I not compile it? Syntax error. Uh-oh, gen pass. I didn't compile it. Look, I'm just going to do the whole file again. Okay, now gen item. Here we go. Now we have a whole bunch of different items. All right, and we have this function update quality that we want to test. That's cool. So let's make a spec for that. Def spec test against model. Let's do 100 of them. And we'll do prop for all. We're going to generate the items. So items gen vector of gen item. So just a vector, could be empty. And we will then say equals update quality model items, update quality items. And these are under the test. So SUT/. Okay, so this is going to run, too long. This is going to run our model with the same items as it runs our actual code that we're going to clean up. And we will know whether they are the same. We're going to compare them. And it's with a random list of items. Random list of items. So let's run these tests. Compiler exception. What? Why is it over here? It's not over here, so it must be like a... I don't know what it must be. Is it a Calva problem? This worked. This worked. This works. All right, let's see. CT. There we go. 2 tests finished, all passing. 1 namespace, 2 vars. All right, let's get rid of this one then. We don't need it anymore. And all right, so now we can make changes. We can even test that our... Here, I'm going to run this again. Load this again. I made changes. We can test that if we mess something up, that it will break. So I'm going to change this 0 to a 1, just as a way to see if we can catch this error. And look, we didn't catch it. So that's bad. Okay. So wait a second. So I think what that means is we need to add more tests. Nope. What's wrong? Okay. Want to make sure that I am running it before I panic. Okay. So I thought we would be able to easily see this. What if I just add a couple letters there? Nope. I mean, it could be that this code never gets run. It's possible. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gen item and I'm going to map, or I'm going to pass it to update quality just to make sure it works. Update, oops, update quality. Yeah. So sell in -1, that shouldn't happen, right? I'm just looking at this code like maybe it doesn't work the way it says. Because it says it should never be negative. So maybe it's not working right. Which was an assumption I made that like this works for them. Oh, the quality of an item is never negative. Oh. Well. Okay. So backstage pass increasing well. All right. So let's try this again. Let's try to mess it up again. So I put the sell-in item is less than 1 instead of 0. It could be... Let's just try it. Look, I'm going to try to hit this case where I put a 1 here. And in the test, I'm going to generate one of those. So update quality of item backstage passes to a TAFKAL 80 ETC concert. And see if it's 1, and let's say 10. After I run the update in, the quality should go to 0, but it's not less than 1. So I don't know why that happened. Maybe it's getting, so like what it makes me think is that that thing is being caught somewhere else. So I'm gonna back that out. You know, like that same case of things going to 0 and they're like it's just being caught somewhere else. So let's run it now. What happens? Ah, no, the quality went to 13. Hmm. But why isn't the test catching? Right, let me try this. Just to make sure. I mean, look, this is what happens when you got legacy code and you're trying to set stuff up for your success. It's gonna take some time. And you're right. Okay, so now if I change this, I'm just looking at what's going on here. If I run this one, I get 0, 0. If I run this one, I get 0, 13. Which to me is troubling because our test should find that. I'm gonna 10x our tests. Just gonna 10x it. This is the number of tests to run. The number of tests to run. I'm gonna run it again. Huh. I don't get it. I don't get it. Vector. Like if I sample this, sample gen vector gen item. Like to me, it should be hitting that pretty easily. A 1 there and a 0 should be very different. Yeah, but see, it's hitting zeros and I don't see any 1s in there. Okay, so I don't know what that means. It just means I don't trust our tests right now. And I don't trust this generator for generating interesting values. Like I'm sure I could find a value to put in here. Like if I put 10, I bet our test would fail. No? Oh my goodness. Oh, I didn't recompile. Oh, well now I just have no idea. I was hoping that, I mean, see, that's the thing. We have this and we have this. Like, it looks like it's happening twice. All right, this is just the wrong thing to look at. This is the wrong thing to look at. Let's change something else. So what if I put an F here and an F here? Still passed. It's like nothing can equal that anymore. Oh, I know what I did. Oh, I see. Y'all are gonna kill me. Y'all probably saw this already. I called it item name because that was the name of the argument, but it's actually name. Big mistake, and it cost me about 20 to 30 minutes of trouble. But that's what happens when you use different names for things. But I'm not allowed to touch this, so I can't change that. I would change this argument name right here. This is the same, this is the same. Why is this one different? But not allowed to change that. So let's compile this again. All right. Run the tests. All passing. Let's go back up here. 1. Compile it. Run the tests. Still passing. What about here? If I change it to here. Still passing. I don't get it. It's just not generating a 1. I can see now why this didn't work, because there was no name. There's only item name. Now there should be, oh, it's still generating item name. Hey, come on, man. There we go. All right, let's try it one more time. Compile that. Still passing. Try this one. Oh, man. Well, I wish that we had tests that would really clearly break stuff. If I do F here, and I do this, what happens? Cell in quality 13. If I do it on here, I get this. I get the cell in the same thing. Cell in quality 13. Well, I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to wonder whether things are set up right for the REPL, you know? See, let's change this again. If I run it in here, this should have, yeah, 0, 0. Okay, so we know that there is at least one case where they're different. This one is going to be 0, 13. So why doesn't this work? It's just not generating one. Let's generate vectors. Now let's generate passes. There's a 1 there. That should work. And the name. Oh, it's still generating item name. Did I miss one? Name. Name. How did that happen? Okay, now it's working. Like, this is gonna drive me nuts. Okay, they all look like they have name now. I must have missed something. Must have hit the wrong keystroke. What happens when you change editors? Sorry. All right, so that one, oh, geez. Now let's see if it runs. They all passed. Why is this? Why is this we're having the gen pass again? I just changed it. And it worked. Sample gen pass. I mean, you saw that, right? I just ran the thing again. Gen item. Now they have item names again. I don't know what's happening. It seems like it works. And then it doesn't. Oh, they all have names. Gen item. But like, you see, this one has name. Oh man. Okay, I'm just gonna recompile everything again. That should have recompiled everything. Maybe that's it. Maybe my keystroke for recompile everything isn't working. Hold on. I'm just gonna try something. That has to work. A is 1. Okay, so that was recompile everything. I'm going to change it to 2. A. Hey, come on, A. Okay. It auto-completed A for me to some array chunk thing. Okay. 2. All right. Run it again. Look, this is why we're doing stuff at the REPL. Make sure it just works. That looks like it works. That looks like it works. That looks like it works. Okay. Just recompiling it a few times. And now it's back. I don't know what we did. I don't know how we broke it. How is it back to item to the old way? Just because I ran the tests. I feel like something is broken here with maybe the keystroke I'm using. Because maybe they're in like 2 separate REPLs? Is that possible? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm messed up in my editor. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Why does this say it's okay? Just gonna clean up a little bit because this is group 2. That's this window. That's that one. There we go. I don't know why. I do not know why, but if I run that same command in here, it seemed to work. I mean, it breaks in that weird way. Okay, now it's working. All right, sorry. I'll just have to always run this. I'm not sure what I'm doing there. It might be a bug in Calva. But we have a failure, which is what we wanted. The failure is in a backstage pass that has a cell-in of 1. So we know the smallest failure. That's what test check is supposed to do for us. If we change this back, should fix the tests. Running tests for the following namespaces. Tests run a while because there's like, I'm running 10,000 because it wasn't finding it before. Shouldn't need to run that many. Look, there we go, it passed. But I'm gonna make it so I don't need to run so many. There. Okay, but let's go back. If I change it to a 1 again, finds it real fast. Change it back to 0. Oh, I was going crazy there. Something's broken in the REPL. I think it's some kind of bug. If I ran it in here, it was like regenerating them, or recompiling them to like another, I don't know, like I feel like it has something to do with, this is Gilded Rose Core, I don't know. Something was messed up. Something was definitely messed up there. And I don't know what the answer is, but I have a solution, which is just run the tests from this window. And it makes me want to just close this window. Oh, but we need it. Well, we won't need it anymore because we're just going to run from here. And all we want to know is that we're good. We haven't changed anything that broke. Okay, this is what programming, this happens in programming a lot. So I'm not that sad that you saw it. I'm mad at myself because it shouldn't have happened. I might have been doing something wrong, but I suspect that there's some weirdness going on with Calva and having different windows and running this in this particular command. So that was quite a long time. So I'm gonna jump back here. This was part 1, just me setting up the tests, but we have a way to test it. I'm gonna test it one more time. Let's go back to the code. if I just add like a G in here, compile it, I have a failing test. I'm not going to read it right now. I know what the problem is. So if I set it back, boom. That's what I want. I want to know that I won't break anything. And if I do break something, I like immediately know it. And just a keystroke away, I can know, hey, did the change I make mess anything up? So in part 2, I'll be back and we will take this code and we're going to refactor it. And then maybe in part 3, we're going to add that new feature of the cursed items. That looks like fun too. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Eric Normand. As always, rock on.